All right, we good, people. We about to go ahead and read off this disclaimer. So a lot of y'all won't get in y'all feelings. I'm just keeping it real. I don't got time for
Right.
y'all getting in y'all feelings.
It ain't
So,
that kind of party.
you know what I'm saying? Armond, go ahead, do your thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first inaugural debut of Agree to Disagree Talk. Here's a little disclaimer. Disclaimer. This show is geared towards the educating, empowering, and the implementation of voices, thoughts, and points of views from whom by society and sometimes self-standards of thinking are oftentimes misheard, misunderstood, and badly misrepresented. By no means does this show wish to offend anyone outside of the black male perspective, nor speak for anyone but the host, myself and Mr. Jake Johnson over here, and our guests. We wish to raise attention and awareness of this through our diverse and controversial topics of discussion, attempting to change perceptions from an us versus them and a me against the world attitude to levels of self-awareness, self-evolution, and accountability in hopes of making it a better world and place to live for us all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first episode of Agree to Disagree Talk. That's it, baby. We in here. You ready for this?
Oh, I stay ready.
You know me, Sugar Free say you got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
All right. What's up, man? My name is Charles Jake Johnson. My Instagram is C Jake Johnson, but call me Jake.
Right. Unless he'll punch you. Call him Jake. And my name is Armond Anderson Bell. I am an actor, entertainer, drag queen artist, makeup artist, true hustler, and I don't play about my money. You can follow me on all social medias at Armond, ARMOND 143.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to say what I did. You know, I'm an actor as well. Personal training. Stepped away from personal training for a little while because acting picked up big time. So, I guess right now I'm just 100% acting. So, let's do it. You know. You want to tell them about the show?
Yeah, so basically, this is from a brainchild of mine. I've had this idea for quite some time, and I've gone through different incarnations of what I wanted to do, but it never seemed to work out right. I would either find a person who was willing to work with me. My idea with this show is to bridge gaps, build bridges between the black gay male experience and the heterosexual male experience, giving you topics and perspectives from our point of view. Again, this is solely from our point of view, from our opinion. So by no means do we say that we have everyone in mind. I chose this show because a lot of times I see a lot of blogs and people going live and they say that they're for the community or they represent a certain group of people, but they don't. So my show is just that we are going to talk about things that haven't been talked about, some things that have been talked about. But at the end of the day, Mr. Jake and I, we both, as the show says, we're going to agree to disagree.
Not every time though. Sometimes we may agree.
Yeah.
We may agree, but at the end of the day, the one thing that we are and that we want you guys to take from this is the fact that even if we do disagree, at the end of the day, we still respect each other's opinions and views.
And that was the whole purpose of this show. My ultimate goal is to have like a view type show where you have a gay black man, a bisexual black man, a trans man, and a heterosexual man, all giving our perspectives on what it means to be black men in the United States of America, because our lives are all different, but yet we're all the same. There's misconceptions, there's stereotypes, both by society as well as self-standards, that we often don't talk about at all. So this is an opportunity to get those out into the open, to share those voices, to share those opinions, and see how we can build those bridges and step away from what society says, which is to tear each other down.
Well, I know I'm gonna speak about a couple things that I saw in my inbox today, yesterday, and I think it was two in my Instagram DM. You know, I'm not gonna name no names, but I am gonna. You know, everybody was pretty much saying the same thing, so I'm gonna go
better than
ahead
me.
and I'm gonna address those. You know, I'm not messy, so I ain't saying no names.
Oh,
I ain't saying you messy. I'm not saying
No,
you
that's
messy.
okay. I claim the mess, baby. First of all, ain't nobody gonna whoop me. So, second of all, sometimes you got to be messy.
Not me.
Oh, okay.
All right. First things first. You know, let me ask you a couple questions. You ask me some questions. I don't know if you want to go first or me, but I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay.
Who is Armand?
I used to have one of them little cute packages. Oh, I'm a son and all that kind of shit. And as I got older, I'm like, I'm an individual. I represent myself, for myself, by myself. On top of all that, society says one thing, but me, I'm just a loving individual. I love hard. I play harder. Sometimes it's not received by others, but in my 40 years this year, I've learned a lot of self-introspective as well as community things. And I'm just a person just trying to share the gifts and on my purpose that have been given to me, regardless of what other people think. We have a lot of people who have so much to say about somebody and how they live and what they should do. And at this point in my life, it's if you're not doing one of the 4 F's, I can care less. If you're not feeding me, if you're not fucking me, if you're not financing me, then I can care less what you got to say. And so that's just what it is.
All right.
You wasn't ready for that, was you?
Hey, do your thing.
Right.
All right, all right.
And who are you, sir?
I am who I am. I'm going to be who I be. But to answer your question, who is Jake? Honestly, I actually just realized who I was moving here to LA 3 years ago. I used to try to make myself be out, be who everybody, wanted me to be, and had to come here to get away from everything and everyone and realize, I am my own individual. I have my own beliefs. I am not the traditional type of person. You know what I'm saying? If something don't make sense to Jake, then if something don't make sense to me, then I have to figure it out until it doesn't make sense. So I'm a kind-hearted person. I love everybody. I don't care who you are, what you are. As long as you respect me, as long as you don't disrespect me, then we're good. That's pretty much. I don't really want to say too much about myself. I'm not gonna give y'all nothing. I don't want to give y'all too much right now. We got like 11 more episodes to go.
Right.
So, like I said in the beginning, I am who I am, and I'm gonna be who I be.
Right. Well, let's just give another disclaimer real quick. Shout out to Mr. Dex Elliott. Who
Yes,
was,
Dex, love you, brother.
I met Dex. I was doing makeup for another guy who was in his music video, and he had me on set doing the makeup. And then Dex was like, "Oh, he saw my work, saw my professionalism, and asked me to come back and do some other projects with him." Of course, I'm going to say yeah. So we did another round of shooting this video, peeping in the window, and that's when I met Jake. And Jake was one of the thugs in the video, whatever. And so me being me, I'm just like, okay, let me just do my job. A lot of times some of us don't know how to separate who we are personally from who we are professionally. And I was doing that. So I didn't even realize, like you were telling me the other day, you said you didn't realize I was gay until like we had got Facebook friends. And
Yo, I'm so blind. Let me say this real quick.
maybe you
Not to
Stevie
cut
Wonder
you off.
blind if you didn't see that.
Not
but
to cut you off. I'm so blind to. I hope I'm saying this. I'm not politically correct, and I'm not trying to be. So, like we said, don't take nothing offensive. I'm blind to gay men. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really pay no attention. So just because somebody may be flamboyant or act flamboyant, move in a flamboyant way or whatever, to me that's just like, okay, yo, you flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you gay. You know what I'm saying? So no, like when I saw you, I didn't just I wasn't gonna just place judgment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's a black man. That's a black man. I know a lot of straight black men, a lot of straight black men in the in the industry, in the acting industry. They're straight.
right,
I've been on a lot of different films, and not all makeup artists were women. Some were straight men, and they was in that makeup room talking about what men do. I'm gonna keep it like that.
What certain men do.
What straight men do.
Right.
You know what I'm
'cause
saying? So I didn't want
talk
to just
about it too, but on a different level.
I didn't want to just place judgment and be like, okay, yo, he gay. No, I didn't know that. Like I said, it took until I saw you in the drag outfit, and I was like, Nah, that's his girl. I said, okay, you got a girlfriend. I said, okay, you got a girlfriend. So then I kept looking. And I'm like, swipe, swipe, no more wig. That's Armond. I was like, oh, snap, okay. Oh, hey, no judgment, brother. And, I ain't act no different towards you or nothing like that.
Right.
I've been the same dude.
And it just goes to the testament. That's how really, and I had no idea. I just found this out, a couple of months ago?
Not
We were
even.
talking, yeah, we were talking, but again, when I'm on set, when I'm doing my business, I'm my business. And so we became friends on Facebook. I started seeing conversations you were having with the people on your page that, piqued my interest. And I think one of the first ones was we were talking about the whole, it was during the Black Panther movie. And
Speak on it.
yeah, and it was this whole big uproar where the certain LGBT community were upset because two of the members of the Dora Milaje.
I'm sorry, time out. He said certain. Now, you said
Okay.
earlier in the show,
Right.
all right, come on now. Come on.
White gay people.
Because we thought it was black.
Right. And I had to step in real quick, as politely as I can. I put my little pinky toe and my little pump inside the conversation as respectful as possible. And I said, well, wait a minute. This is not all of the black gay community. For the black gay communities and for the people that I know, we're just happy that a black movie is out. And so Jake and a few of his other followers was like, oh, we didn't know. We thought it was all just one big kumbaya. It's not. There's so much racism and separatism in the gay community. And so I was thrown back because me being in my small bubble, I thought everyone knew that there's a disconnect with certain white gay men. Again, this is not all white gay men. I have wonderful friends. The person who put me on to being an actor, Mr. Mike Hennessy, is a white gay man who I love tremendously, him and his husband. But this particular issue was brought up by a group of white gay men who just wanted to stir the pot. And so people on Jake's page were bringing that to the attention and talking about it. And I was like, well, wait a minute, y'all, this is not what it is. And so it opened the door to conversation. And I was like, well, wait a minute, this dude is really interesting and has more to just what he presents on the surface. And so I start following his page more. And again, there was other topics of discussion with women. I think one of the main ones that really got me was, I think you asked the question, why is it okay for, I think, men or gay men to use the bitch word and not a straight man? Okay. And again, I had to bring it into everything that I am. It's like it's a different story. There's 5,001 ways you can say bitch to another person, but most likely when a heterosexual man is using it, it is not of a loving manner. And so we talked, and then I was like, you know what? I have this project that I'm working on that has been on my heart and my spirit for a while. Would you be interested? And honestly, I can't remember. What was your thoughts?
One thing about me now is I no longer care what anyone thinks about me. I know who I am. I know I'm a straight male. I don't care if someone is gay and asks me to work with them. So it wasn't really, I knew who you were as a human being, as a person. And I knew how professional you were because, as you stated earlier, that, we worked together. So it really wasn't a problem. I didn't really have to think too hard on it, or too long, as you know.
Hey, you surprised me. I'm trying to hold back the tears of joy right now as I'm sitting here to see this dream and this purpose being brought into life. So, yeah.
Yeah, so and this goes to, this kind of speaks on. I'm not gonna get into it just yet, but what was in my inbox and my DMs and whatnot. But it didn't bother me at all. Like I said, I knew who you were as an individual. You like what you like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you earlier, I don't have a problem with the LGBTQ community. I don't have a problem with gay men. As long as you respect me, as long as you don't hate on me, try to make no move or try to be slick in my DMs or my inbox. As long as you don't do none of that stuff, I ain't got no problem with you. We good. You like what you like. I love what I love. I love women's. You know what I'm saying?
I love men's.
I love women. and that's how it's gonna stay. So as long as you understand that, as long as the gay community understand that, I don't got a problem with you at all. But the moment you cross that line, then we got a problem. But I haven't had that experience though. Not being here in LA. And out here in LA is West Hollywood is the LGBTQ community capital of the country. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
But
I
again,
still haven't.
it's a different demographic.
Yeah, but I haven't experienced no disrespect. Not at the gyms, not on set. So, I'm solid. Some of my past clients when I was training out here were gay, and I'm talking about the super flamboyant. I'm talking about super flamboyant, but they respected me. You know what I'm saying? They was paying that money. Give me my bread. I'm gonna train you. I'm gonna get you right. And it was cool. I have nothing negative to say. I have no bad experience. So at the end of the day, what I used to think every gay guy is gonna try to holler at you, that's not true. I may not be their flavor. Cool. Let's keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
It just goes to show that the testament of us as people. Again, I've worked in the industry not too long, but I've had jobs and things like that where I used to be concerned about how I would be perceived. And some of my mentors in acting, shout out to Sir Tony, shout out to Mr. Nick Few, and some other people who helped me because I was so damn green when I started acting. I would be like, oh my God. When I got first into acting after my second episode of the web series, they was like, oh, we gonna tap Hardly you. And I'm sitting there like, well, who is tapping? Who is Hardly? Just pay me. I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what it was to sign contracts or how to ask for what you was. And that's how I developed myself as an artist and entertainer by telling people how I wish to be received as a drag queen. I've been offered pennies. And I was told, oh, you just
He
supposed to
said
take it.
pennies.
No, I said pentees.
Pentees. Okay.
But I was, stagnant about how I would be seen once people knew that I was a drag queen and things like that. But it goes to show the testament of me as an individual, and something that I'm wishing to teach other people is that when you respect yourself, then people will have no choice but to respect you.
Yeah.
It's not of a dominating, oh, you got to respect me, things like that. It should just come off as simple as we breathe. When we respect ourselves for who we are and not what we do. So I'm really blessed again to have had work with people like Dex Elliott and meeting Jake. I mean, Jake is the one who actually helped me decide that I wanted to be a flexitarian when it came down to meat eating and things like that. We were doing, the first time we did the video shoot, we did the lunch call. And so the lady who was doing the lunch, she was like, oh, we got 2 vegetarians on set.
Vegans.
And not
Vegans.
Excuse me, sorry.
Vegans.
Don't put me.
I ain't no vegetarian.
We got 2 vegans on the set. And so I was like, who? Because in my mind, I'm thinking frail, anorexic, everything. And it was Jake and another gentleman. And I was like, oh.
Shout out to Brian.
Yeah, Brian, who really took the time out to, before the shoot was over, he'd given me so much paperwork and information. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try this. It's something, I was getting ready, I think 2 years from being 40. So I was like, I need to change. I took the information. I went to Target. It was really interesting. Me and my dramatic ass, I'm sitting there getting all the little vegan food. I swear it was people looking at me like, you're not a vegan, just laughing at me and shit. So I went ahead and did it. By the time we came back to the reshoots, I think the only person I had told was Dex that I had tried veganism, and I had started to lose weight. We got to the shoot, and everyone was like, oh, you look like you lost weight. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you. And it was, again, because for you and Brian, who introduced me to, being a vegan, and well, I call myself flexitarian because y'all know I love my seafood. I just, yeah. But anyway, but again, goes back to us as individuals. Paul, do we have any questions or comments? Because I can't see my face.
Oh my gosh, I can't even see my.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. You know what? Hey, Instagram. I'm sorry if
Forgive
you're
us.
asking me questions. I'm sorry that I can't see it. If you want to go to, never mind. I'm sorry I can't see my Instagram questions because my phone is over there.
Let me see if I can.
My
pull it.
apologies. Hey, can you write down the number? Maybe they can call in. Can you write down the
Yeah,
number?
the call.
Yo, we about to give y'all the phone number to call. You can call in at any time of the show. If you got a question, you can ask the question.
I could give you guys your comments too if you want.
Yes,
my-
please.
Over here on the side, you guys are getting a lot of love in the comments.
Oh,
Is no questions so far, but just tell everybody, just go ahead and send your
So-
questions in.
Can you look at my Instagram?
Or
you can't see
I
mine.
don't think I could get there from this angle.
No, I'm saying, like, can you?
Oh, pull it up.
Or-
let
yeah.
me see what's up on your Instagram.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, while he do that, if you have a question and you want to call in, the phone number is 323-577-7630. 323-577-7630. Call anytime. Call
text
right
first
now.
because I can't be able to answer. So text me. Let me know that you want to go live. Once you text me with your name, I'm going to call out the last 4 digits of your number. So listen, so that once I call out the last 4 numbers, I'll call you back and then you will go live.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for everyone who's watching on my Facebook Live. This is a process where we got gadgets and stuff going on, all this technological stuff. But we're going to get it. I'm really excited. So let's get back to some of the questions. Going back to when I brought this idea to you, what were some of your thoughts, your reservations, or, you know?
Honestly, man, I didn't really have any thoughts. It was just, I was cool with it. That's why it didn't take me long to answer. I didn't, like I said, I didn't think long on there. I didn't have to think hard. I was already talking about doing a podcast prior to you saying something to me, but I had no idea where to start, what to do, or anything. So, I didn't have to, think hard. My question to you now, let's get down to it.
Mm-hmm.
As a gay man, as a gay black man, how old were you when you realized I'm different? Is that proper to say I'm different? Or because
I'm unique, but, you know,
Okay.
I'm different. Yes, I'm different.
pull up.
Right. I knew that there was something different about me at 5 years old. I didn't know what it was, and it didn't have a name until I got to around junior high when I started expressing myself just a little bit more. I knew I grew up in a very urban area in South LA. Shout out to West Athens Park, APBs.
1 second, Lorenzo. 1 second, Lorenzo.
But so everyone is very masculine. My dad was a mechanic. My uncle played for the Buffalo Bills, who later became a sheriff. And I had all this. I wouldn't even say toxic masculinity. It was just a lot of masculinity in the mix. But I knew that there was something a little bit soft about me. I knew I was just a little bit more pretty and did a little things just a little bit soft. And it wasn't until I got into junior high where I started exploring those feelings. I did have a girlfriend, had a few girlfriends, but it didn't last any
He
much.
said he likes titties, God.
Yes, I do.
He
Anybody
likes
who knows,
titties.
I love titties. I love mine and I love other people's. I love a pretty titty. But I think I had my last girlfriend when I had my first boyfriend in the 8th grade. That was a situation that we'll talk about that another time. There was certain things, anybody who's known my stories and knows some of the things, I'm very vocal, I'm very honest. At this point in my life, you're not going to whoop me, so I can care less. But I started experimenting. I started tutoring for boys in exchange for certain things. But it wasn't until I really got into high school when I moved from South LA to the Hollywood area that I saw levels of expression that I knew would not be accepted in South LA at the time. So my freshman year of high school, I was new to the area, so I was kind of to myself. By the second semester, I was like, boom, this is me. I did all the rainbow. I've been an advocate for gay rights, thanks to my good friend and ex, Mr. Lewis Harvey, who is no longer with us, taught me what it was to be a proud black man. I knew what it was, thanks to my grandfather and different people, what it was to be a proud black man. I did not know what it was to be a proud black and gay man. And yes, those two things, even though they're one and the same, they are different. Most of my life, I've had to feel the separation of when I'm in a predominantly gay situation, I got to tone down the little hood queen that I've self-proclaimed called myself, or when I'm in a predominantly, gay setting, or vice versa, I should say that back. When I'm with gays, I have to tone down the blackness. When I'm with the blacks, I have to tone down the gay. So I grew up having that duality, but figuring out something wasn't right. And I started advocating for rights and different things. And that's when I got speeding up to around my 30s and realizing that we all know what it feels like to be discriminated against. So why would I try to inflict that on other people? And hopefully other people will learn from myself that when you are who you are, other things will fall into place.
Okay. Again, you can call in 323-577-7630 if you got a question. You want to go live with us, or you just want to call and ask a question. That's 323-577-7630. My boy Zoe said, what's the topic of tonight's podcast? My brother, tonight is really just the intro. The intro of the show. We'll be here every Tuesday, 7:30 into 8:30 Pacific time. That's 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern. So right now we're just introducing ourselves, talking about the podcast, and then asking a few questions so you can get a feel of what it's going to be like. You have a question for me?
Yes. What was it like growing up, or when did you first notice that there was a difference with gay men and how they were perceived? Because I'm pretty sure you understand or have an idea of what it means to be discriminated as a black man. But when you saw different things, what was your idea on gay men in general?
Honestly, I never cared. I never cared. And what I mean by that is, I'm not Kevin Hart, so I'm not going to say, you said he was gay, who cares? That's not what I'm trying to say. Even though we need to talk about that too, community.
We will talk about that.
I never really cared. So let me put it to you like this. I had a cousin, and growing up, when we were all kids, and I love my family. I love my cousins. I don't care if you're gay, if you're bi, if you trans, whatever. I love you. I love everybody. But I kind of knew at a young age that some boys just might be a little different. And I mean that respectfully. Meaning what was called the norm back in the 90s, meaning, guys play with race cars and action figures, and girls play with dolls. So growing up, I had a cousin and who I love to death. I ain't seen him in years, but I still love him to life, matter of fact. While we were all playing with like Bugs Bunny and Transformers and G.I. Joes, Cuz was playing with he was playing with the Barbies. And we ain't really paying.
So was I.
So we ain't really paying no mind. But as I started getting older, I was like, okay, because he's not in the closet. We all know. I was like, okay, so is people born that way? Are gay people born that way? Because at the age we were, how the heck would he know that he was gay? We didn't even know what the heck a gay was. We didn't even know that word existed. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know that boys like boys. Back in the 90s. I had no clue that was even a thing. But as I got older, it started to make sense. So it always leaves that question in my head, and I think I asked you that question when we started talking about the ideal of the show. Mm. Are people born that way? Or is it an experience in their life at a young age that they experienced and it traumatized them? Or, that is a question that I know a lot of people want to know. A lot of people, okay, we got a question right here. But if you can answer that real quick.
Yeah, Facebook question really quick. And the short answer, shout out to Jermaine Green, who's a friend of mine.
Oh, we have two questions.
Church. Okay, cool. Really quick, what does it mean? He wants to know, what does it mean to each of us to be a black man? Short answer, really quick. It's about culture. It's about pride. It's about honoring our ancestors who fought for us on so many different levels and representing that to myself to the best of my ability.
I have nothing to add to that. Nothing to add to that. There go another question from Lorenzo Smith. This is so small, and I can't zoom in. It says, how can black people as a whole get their political agenda across the LGBTQ community that any community to do? Wait, what? How can black people as a whole get their political agenda across like the LGBT community did? Oh, okay. How can black people as a whole get their political agenda across like the LGBTQ community did and community and continuing to do? You get what he's saying?
I get what he's
Y'all, the text is so slow.
if
so
I'm
I
not
mean, so
mistaken, and
small.
correct me if I'm wrong, he's asking how can blacks do the same thing that some gays have done with advocating. But we've done that. We just have not done it in the last 10 or 15 years
We as in who?
as blacks.
We talking about now.
Right. So we have to go back to, and quiet as kept, the LGBT community got their stance and their fight from seeing African Americans do sit-ins, protesting march. Little do people know that Martin Luther King's right-hand man, Bayard Rustin, was an openly gay man. He is the man who taught Martin Luther King Jr. nonviolence approach. It's not about using what people see on the surface, but coming across to people as genuine as possible. When you come across genuine, whatever your agenda is, political, race, sexual orientation, you have a passion for it. So it's about taking all the egos out of the way and stepping back to what we used to do. We may have to do sit-ins. We may have to fight for our rights. But when we have passion and purpose behind what we're doing, it should speak to everyone.
But see, that's the problem because, and Zoe, that is a great question because I said the same thing. It seems like the gay community, you know, for lack of better words, get their way a lot, a lot more than.
Look, we're gonna put that little asterisk right there. It's a large, predominantly white gay community. Black African Americans, people of color, still have a fight and a long way to go to be seen as equal. Again, this is a small group of people. Not everyone in the LGBT community is kumbaya.
They all don't get along, is what he's saying. But it's, I still believe that's a good question because, as we sit back and we watch, going to Long Beach and going to West Hollywood and seeing, not even just seeing, but knowing how pretty much, regardless of what the ethnicity of the community is, they're getting what they want. You know what I'm saying? And we're not. And what I mean by we is, I'm talking about just blacks, period. Men, women, blacks, period. If we want, like, all the things that we, quote unquote, fight for, we are still fighting for the same stuff we was fighting for 20 years ago.
But the focus has to be
right, but the LGBTQ community pretty much just became accepted within the past 7 years.
If that, I'm 40 years old, and I've been out the closet since I was 15, and I've seen a lot of the stuff that we see now is from myself and generations before me, who fought. But again, it all comes back to the intent on what you're trying to do. When you are speaking from a place of love and acceptance, then the message is universal. Putting this project together, I was so concerned of why does someone want to listen to me as a gay man talk about being unified as men? And I had to say, my message is bigger than who I go to bed with and whom I'm going to bed. Both you and I are who we are identified as a gay man and as a straight man. But at this very moment, none of us are engaged in that. We are talking about what it means on the deepest core to be black men in America. Not to exclude any other people, but this is the voice that we are trying to build bridges and gaps with. So again, we just have to focus on that energy, our energy as black people, and it's no way I can turn the switch off. I'm black on this section and I'm gay, but I have to when I speak on certain things because our energies as African Americans is all over the place. It's not the same when I was growing up or the people who taught me what it means to be a proud black man.
Okay, good answer. And thank you for that. If you got any more questions, submit it. If you want to call 323-577-7630. Now let's get to my inbox. Y'all thought I
Yeah.
forgot. Y'all thought I
I want
forgot.
I want to know because that was my concern, Jake, and we talked about it, and what we learned about each other. I'm a worry ward. I want to think. I was concerned because I know how some of my peers can be. I was scared, like, oh, they gonna think we fucking. They gonna think all kinds of stuff. I didn't want them, and I even wrote on one of the things like, submit questions, but come with respect and keep it cute.
Yeah, miss me with all that too. No, really. All right, so one question was, cuz you good? Come on, man. I know what that means. I know what cuz you good? We had the conversation, but I'm gonna just go to the next question or to the next
Did they tell
the
you to
next
blink
message.
once if you okay?
The next message because it's all the same thing. Hey man, you still straight? Next question. Or to my DM. I remember this off top. Why are you doing a show with a gay man? Did Hollywood change you? Let me tell y'all something real quick. And I know I already said what I said in the beginning. I'm a straight black man. Why? I don't even understand why I gotta say that to those who ask me that question. I know we close, we cool, but you gotta grow up, man. I'm sorry, and that's really all it is. I know how we was when we was younger in the hood and doing all this crazy stuff. I get the mentality, but you got to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody is gay don't mean, or just because you're working with somebody gay does not mean you, what's the word? Does not mean I didn't cross over, man. I love women too much. And I'm trying to keep it PG, but I love women too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested in no man. That's not me. But I'm not going to stop. Let me tell you something. Me being in Hollywood, me being an actor, you will, and let me speak to all my future actors out there or all my current acting friends out there. You will get nowhere in Hollywood being homophobic. It ain't happening. I'm sorry. Why? Because homosexuals, is that the PC? Can I say homosexual? The gay community, gay men, gay women, and I'm gonna say black women. They run in Hollywood right now. They run in Hollywood. Let's just be honest. Look at everything we see. Y'all don't know back home because y'all don't really see it like we do, but there's no way in hell you're gonna make it in this industry and you have a problem with the LGBTQ community. It's not gonna happen. So I will not limit myself, and not work with somebody that's in that community because I'm heterosexual.
And on the flip side of that, to my fellow LGBT actors, just in people in general, we got to stop as much as we see people being homophobic. There are some who are heterophobic, who constantly try to, and I see it, and they say it and use it. Oh, why are you trying to push down who you are, or push down who you are on us? I see that. For every stereotype, there is a nugget of truth to it. I have been around people. Hell, in my younger days, I was that person who thought like it was a sport. Quiet as kept. We're going to talk about that one show too. It was a sport to try to turn people out for me. That was in my younger days, in my insecurities, not knowing all of who I am and using my sexuality as a weapon. Just like women use their sexuality as a weapon, I learned as a gay man to use my sexuality as a weapon. And it wasn't until I start doing more inner peace and talking with the inner person who I am that I realized that's not all of who I am. If I wanted to get ahead in life, I had to stop holding the anger and the stereotypes of what other people had against me and doing the same thing that people were doing to me, to them. There are many attractive people. Doesn't mean I got to flirt with them or push myself on them because I can.
Let's talk cancel culture. Because it's something I got a problem with. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of limiting me on things that I want to say because the gay community is always so quick.
Again, you
I'll
gotta put
take
that
that back.
asterisk,
Let me
You're learning already,
Let me
see?
take that back.
You're learning. You got to put that
take
little
that back.
asterisk.
Let me ask you, why is some of the gay community, why are they always so quick? And I'm speaking about black gays.
Okay, yeah.
I'm speaking about black. Why are black
But it's not.
Man, I see it all over Instagram. I see it all over Facebook. I see it. It's black the black gay community so quick to try to cancel a black artist, whether you're an actor, a comedian, a artist, a singer, a rapper. Why is it that why does it seem, let me say it like that. Why does it seem that the the LGBTQ community is always so quick to cancel somebody?
From my personal experience.
And I'm gonna say black women too. I would love for
Oh.
black women to call in.
Right. That I would definitely, because we got to talk about this Malik Yoba thing. Huh? That's definitely something that we have to talk about. From what I know and from my personal experience, hurt people hurt other people because they want to. Just how
Everybody ain't hurt.
Right. Just how certain African Americans think that anytime something goes wrong, it's the man's fault, instead of taking accountability for their misdeeds and their misactions. So I can't speak for everybody, but what I see is that we have had so much pent up anger and oppression that the minute we feel that we can get a little bit above a person, then we feel that we have power over them. Just like heterosexuals feel that they can degrade or have a say in a same-sex attracted person. To me, that has been bothering me for more than half my life, how I have more opposition and oppression from people who have the same skin tone as me than someone else. Although there is a small group of white people who are racist, most of it has come from my people of color, black and brown. It hurts so much to see that we all have been misrepresented and oppressed, that they feel that, okay, we are minute out of slavery, and yet here's another group that I can tell them how they should live. I should tell them that this is the way they should do because the Bible said it, when half these people are just regurgitating something that they heard and have no idea what the actual Bible says. We are going to talk about that on another show. But again, it goes to the crabs in the barrel things, and it's not just a black thing, it's a people thing.
Okay. 323-577-7630. You got a question, you can call in. 323-577-7630. We got about 15 minutes left, and we're going to wrap it up. You got a question for me?
Got any questions, Paul? We can't see our Instagram. We working this out.
Oh,
Yeah,
my-
right
my-
now.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
go for it.
I was going to say, if you want to look at my Instagram, it's do you see it?
Yeah, I was just on your
Okay.
Instagram. Let me go back to it. I've been jumping around.
Thank you so
between a
much,
lot of
Paul.
it.
You're such a blessing.
No problem. I got you guys. Producer Paul, if you guys write in your comments, and they can hear this on Facebook, if you guys write in your comments, I'll be reading it, and I'll make sure that they will hear your questions.
Yes.
So they can hear that on my Facebook, too?
Yeah, they can hear it everywhere.
Okay.
They should be able to.
Paul got that God voice right now. He in charge of everything.
All right, let's see. Something else I wanted to touch on. You don't see any questions?
Not yet. We just got the same question twice.
Okay. 323-577-7630.
I saw on there I saw two of my friends, close friends, Jermaine and Henry Livis, who I love so much. Henry, the way you submit your questions, just put it in.
Oh, shoot. We
The,
got oh, man, I'm tripping.
Just put it in the text box and it'll come up. So it's really simple. As you see, as it's scrolling, where there's like you would write a comment, it's the same way. Once you write that as a question, it'll come up. Thank you for trying to address that, Henry and Jermaine.
Yeah, you guys got a bunch of hearts right now. There you
Oh,
go.
thank you.
You guys are getting a lot of love in your comments. That's what's cool.
Man, I'm over here trying to talk with these braces in my mouth. I'm still not used
Hey,
to it.
somebody just said you're looking fresh. There you go.
Oh,
So that was
okay.
I
for you. There you
appreciate
go.
that.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna ask you this.
We are looking for future guests as well as sponsors. So feel free to hit us up. Let us promote your business, yourself, what you're looking to do. We're also looking to have guests come on here. I want this show to be about opinions and giving people the opportunity to express that. Too many podcasts, too many things. I see people going live, and they're one-sided. They say they're for people, but once you disagree with them, then you called every name under the sun. You're this, you're that. We're not doing that at this show. That is the purpose of Agree to disagree.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you think the gay community is too sensitive?
Again, I can't speak for every same-sex attracted.
From what you see?
Yes, yes, I do. I think people are too sensitive on a lot of different topics, but when it's a lot of self-introspection that needs to be done. And I can say that now at 40, having done a lot of that since I turned 30, I see a lot of what we hold for ourselves, we try to hold against another person. So me being a same-sex attracted man, I realize that that's not all of who I am. Once I realized that and start working on myself on a day-to-day basis, I was able to see other people's opinion. I was able to see other people's points of views, their way they express themselves, because I personally know what it's like to be told I'm not good enough, constantly told that I'm too extra. Shit, I got family members who have the audacity to tell me that bullshit. And I realized that that's not, and it sounds cliche, we use it, but it's not me, it's them. Because when you are who you are, whether you are what you are, people don't agree, then let it fly. If I said, Jake, I believe the sky is peach, and you said it's purple,
You know, hell, we both wrong.
well, we don't know. We have to learn to see people for who they are and what they are, and not take it personal. It's not a personal attack. If you shine a little bit more than I do, maybe that needs to tell me that maybe I need to step up my shine game. But when you're secure or getting secure with who you are, then other people and how they represent themselves should not bother you in the least. You should take what someone says with a grain of salt. If it don't apply, let that shit fly.
John Green, what's going on, John Green? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Let's see. You have a point. Lorenzo said, I do believe we as black people are too divided in too many areas. I agree 100%. That's exactly why a lot of blacks, well, that's exactly why we don't get anywhere. I'm going to say that much.
You read the Jermaine Green comment right now, right?
Which one? No, that one's on mine.
So he basically asking about the structure of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jermaine, this is our very first show. We're getting a feel for each other, as well as for you guys to give us an idea of who we are. In the future, we will work on having a structure as far as guests, but then we also wanted to just flow. There'll be times where there's a pressing topic that I want to talk about and things, and then there'll be times where we just want to shoot the shit.
What's up, Crystal? I see you tuning in. Let's see. There was a question. Ask me a question. There's a question that you didn't ask me.
There's a few that I have. Let me go back to my questions, pull up my questions.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. And again, my Instagram followers, I'm so sorry that oh wait, no, right. Okay, my man, yo, I'm not sorry. I take my apology back.
Producer Paul is on it, guys.
One of the big things is, when did you first notice a level of discrimination towards blacks and homophobia towards the LGBT community?
Hey, can you ask me a different question?
You had a chance to look over the
I
question.
don't know that answer.
Okay, so how do you think yourself as an individual, and how do you think the show as a whole will begin to hopefully change the division and divide?
I mean, honestly, when you look at it, I can't think of another show like outside of Hollywood Unlocked, where there's a straight man and a gay man. My boy Jason Lee, you know, he's the, you know, that's his show. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to get him on this show. I know a lot of y'all know who Jason Lee is, so it's one of my, you know, somebody I know here. I'm gonna try to get him on this show. But seeing that a gay man and a straight man can work together, and as we stated earlier in the show, have that respect for each other, and at the end of the day, you know, regardless of what you or somebody else may identify as, you know, we're still human beings.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're human beings. So it doesn't matter if, you know, if you like men and I love women. At the end of the day, I forgot what your question was, but at the end of the day, we're human beings. And
one of the things that I was going over in my head when I thought of this idea was, if a police officer in general were to take a straight black man
Thank you,
and
John.
a gay black man, bisexual and a trans man, they wouldn't distinguish, and we're all black men. So this was something that really sparked my attention to do this when it was a lot of the police shootings going on, because I have friends, but then also I have to realize that, again, there was so much hate towards police. My uncle, again, from West Athens Park area of life in South LA, grew up in that area, but he is a sheriff. Often asked him, like, how does he deal with the hate towards police officers? He's from the hood. That was, again, a small section of police officers doing this. We have to separate and look at individuals for the misdeeds that they're doing and not ban a group of people. Just like if you have a bad experience with an individual who happens to be black, you can't say all black people are that way. If you have an incident with a person who is same-sex attracted or whatever, we do that. We put that blanket over people, and it's not fair.
Oh, we have a question.
Question.
All right. That is for Jake. It says, Jake, why do you think that straight people still use the phrase pause?
Question was, why do I think straight people still use the phrase pause? Because some people still have that mindset. Some people haven't matured out of that mindset. I guess I'm still a little immature, because I guess when I'm talking to certain people, I still say pause based on, you know what, I guess it's a person by person thing. If I'm talking to somebody at home, and if I was to say something with, you know, I guess what everybody would consider a little suspect, they'll give you that look and be like, all right, pause. You know what I'm saying? I guess like back in the day when, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 2008, 2007, when Wayne, I believe it was Lil Wayne, he started the whole thing saying no homo.
Oh, God.
You know, you would say something, but boom, no homo. So we went from no homo to pause.
So, this is pause, P-A-U-S-E. I'm thinking pause like, baby, let's put these paws up. Because, you know, don't let this, I'm a hood queen.
No,
so
no. It's
I'm
like you say something suspect, it's like pause, you know.
Okay.
I guess, you know, that has to be, you know what, to be honest, I haven't dealt with that here in LA. And I guess that really depends on the culture where you're at, because there's so many gays here, and there's so many, you know, there's so many different cultures here. So even if I was to go up to somebody and be like, oh, snap, you know, I say something, I'd be like, pause. They'd be like, pause what?
Right.
You know?
Again,
So when you're in certain areas, or when you're around certain people, and being in LA where there's a million different cultures, you know, you start to adapt, and you realize, okay, I don't have to have that mindset anymore. You know, but when I do go back home, or when I am talking to one of my homeboys, they will check me real quick and be like, yo, you ain't say pause. Yo, I'm 32, bro. I ain't got to do that no more. Come on, man. You know I'm not like that, so why I got to say pause?
wow.
You know?
One of the things that I've always wanted to know is, do heterosexual men fear gay men so much because of the misogyny that they do towards women? Because, again, we're not always going to hit on anything we want because we can. But the insecurity, because I have lots of friends, you included, who are secure with who they are as heterosexual men. So where does the insecurity and the discrimination come from? These, and quiet is kept, some of the main ones is with the loudest talk is the ugly ones.
You know, I don't think straight men fear gay men. I think it's a I don't want to feel soft type thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't fear nobody, but I don't fear I don't fear a gay man, and I don't think any of my closest homeboys fear gay men if they was to come say something to them and whatnot. But I think it's really a case by case type of thing. You know,
Right.
I can't speak for the next man. I can only speak for myself and for what I see, you know, when I'm with my dogs and whatnot.
But where do you think it may come from? Because, again, I think that I've seen some very, like, I've been on set and all they talking about is vagina and how, and again, they showboating, because half of them probably can't pull nothing. I probably can pull a girl before some of them. But I see that insecurity expressed on other people again. And why is it only just people of color? There are white men and Filipinos who are 100%. I have friends who are 100% heterosexual, and they soft as butter.
But that's a culture thing. You got to
Right.
think about it. Like black men, like we talk about, I'll say vagina. We'll talk about, in my younger years, I'm a grown man. I don't do none of this no more. You know what I'm saying?
You had to put that on there,
Yeah,
huh?
let me throw that out there because, like I said, I'm 32. But we'll talk about I just got done, whooping this chick and whoop, whoop. It's an ego thing. That's all it is. It's nothing else but an ego thing. Who could smash the most chicks?
Right.
Yo, he the man. Yo, he a pimp. Nah, nah, nah. That's literally all it is. It's really culture. I don't hear none of my white friends
Right.
saying nothing like that. In
Filipinos.
fact, let me put this out there. I love my white friends back home, okay? Because what they did is they introduced me to something called white boy humor, okay? White boy humor. My friends in Detroit, of course they're all black. My black friends in Detroit versus my white friends in a city, another city I grew up in back home called Ipsy. If my white friends tried to bring that white boy humor to my friends in Detroit, it wouldn't go so good. You know what I'm saying? But what it is white boy humor is very from now I'm speaking from my friends. It's very pause worthy.
Oh.
For lack of a better word, it's very pause worthy. Or back in the day, no homo type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right, just
it's
friendly.
very like y'all don't be boys, but I'll whoop yo. You know what I'm saying? Like chill out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a culture thing because my black friends won't come close to even thinking about doing anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just like my black friends, they may talk about I just got done smashing shorty. I just hit 3 chicks and then before I even took a shower. You know what I'm saying? Then I got my white friends saying, "Yo, cup check," or let me, they try to hump your butt and stuff like that, but they don't, they don't think nothing of it like we do. You know what I'm saying? Because of us, it's like, yo, that's soft, B. Like, what you doing?
Right. But then it's also an ego thing. I'll give you an example. I'm at the gym. I know what I like, and I know what likes me. So I'm in the gym trying to get my workout in. The same dudes, I swear they on the host row because they constantly passing by. I'm like, are y'all tempting me? They want to be seen. And I'm just like, but see, if I were to do something, then I would, and again, that goes back to being in junior high and growing up, being scared of being called out. But yet these so-called men are doing this. I mean, they grunting loud. Like you would swear, if I can hear you grunting and doing your sets over my headphones, like you want to be seen, but you're straight. But the minute if I make an approach, and then I'm gonna have to whoop you. But I don't get that. Why? It's all an ego.
It's an ego thing. That's all it is, And when I think about how I was in my early 20s, it's it's an ego thing. That's all it is. It's really nothing else. Pride, ego, it's nothing else, man. Let me see. Oh, we got some more people.
Question, Paul?
Not yet, but if people keep putting them on every week, we're gonna read them.
Right.
323-577-7630. How much time we got, Paul?
We're right about at the end.
Okay. We getting ready to wrap it up. Yo, hey, look. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the first show, first of many. Every Tuesday, Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. All my folks back home that tuned in, I appreciate it. Before I leave, before I close out, I want to say, always remember this, y'all. Make big problems small, make problems small. Blah. Make big problems small, make small problems non-existent. Keep that in mind, baby. All right?
Thank you, Jake. Man, I'm going to do a little shout when I get home because, again, this is one step into what I'm working on in my purpose. I make lots of small, silent moves, and this is just the beginning. To see this coming into fruition, to see it actually happens means so much to me. So thank you. Thank you for stepping out on faith.
No doubt.
Thank my higher power for giving me this vision and to executing it. It's so easy to step away from our purpose than it is. And we've been back and forth. But you've been pumping me up, and I've had to sit back and be like, man, he really wants to do it. And so I'm grateful for you. Again, this is a journey for both of us. Hopefully we take other people on this journey. again, self-evolution, self-introspective work is something we all need to do. If we don't do it for anybody, let's do it for ourselves.
Encourage each other, baby.
That's about it. I think we're going to close it out. Send in those questions. Hit us up. We are on all social media platforms. Agree, the number 2, disagree, talk.
Follow me on my Instagram at C Jake Johnson. That's the letter C, Jake Johnson. If you're on my Facebook, y'all got that. And
Right.
y'all,
Follow me, ARMOND, the number is 143 on all social media platforms. Keep those questions coming in. If you would like to be a guest on our show, whether you like to call in or meet us here in the studio, give our emails, our social media sites a hit. Thank you guys again for being on this journey with us. We will have it streaming by the end of this week, so you can catch it again every Tuesday night, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific. See, I always do that. Pacific. I was very close with that. Pacific Standard Time. Again, hit us with those questions, those comments, those concerns. I want to see the people who feel the audacity that want to read. I want to see a read, because it is what it is. But thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you.